Okay, here again with a new tutorial for the angle bracket. So this is what we are going to be drawing. And really, if I'm looking at this part, the only place where I see symmetry is really through the middle of this rib, half and half. And the biggest probably feature is this angle. So there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could draw this whole profile, right? And then you could extrude it kind of sideways, and then add these little ears and things like that. And that would absolutely work. But I want to teach you guys how to draw an angled plane, just in case we haven't done that or if you're not sure. And so I'd like you to try it this way. And then, again, when you do this for your own purposes, you can do it however you'd like. So what we're going to do first is, let's go back here to this, I guess. Number one, we're drawing in millimeters. Good to know. We're going to draw this little L section. So I've got it at 150, 60, and 20 thick on all of those. And it's eventually going to then get extruded to 80. But for now, 150 by 20 and 60 by 20 are my rectangles I need to worry about. So I'm going to go right here. I've got my origin turned on. I'm going to right click on this front face, and then I'm going to hit Create Sketch. What we want to do here, let's do a rectangle, so I hit R. Start dragging it out. I hit 150, then I hit Tab, and 20, and I hit Enter, and that locks that rectangle in. I'm going to right click, go up there to hit Repeat Rectangle. I'm going to go to this corner, start dragging it up, 20, Tab, 60, and Enter. Now, could I trim this out? Yeah, sure, but I want to start showing you guys some other things. So I'm just going to hit E right there, so I'm ready to extrude that. And I can just click those, even though they're a little bit different, right? And then we'll go to Symmetric. Okay, and I want the whole distance, and my whole distance is going to be 80. Alright, now we got this thing started. Let's go ahead and put these circles here, and then these radius. My radius is 20. So let's go ahead and put our fillet on that, and that. And we want those at 20. Enter. And now we're going to need to create a new sketch for these holes right here. And the center point of these holes is at the same center point for this radius, right? They share the center point. And so that would be right in there. So now let's go right here and right click that and create a sketch on that. And I want to do this, but what I want to see is, that's what I wanted to pop. If this didn't pop up, I was going to have to project that forward. But we're good. So that little circle there means that that's the center for those radius, those fillets we made. I'm going to click that. Alright, I'm going to hit D for dimension. And those, what did we say, are 15. Okay, and then I'm going to hit C for circle. Draw this one over there. And then I'm going to say I want U to be equal to U. And now I can hit E for extrude. Get back in this view. I want U and U. And we're going to cut those out. So I can just hit all. And we are good. Okay, now time to worry about this this whole kind of back angled piece of this. And so for now, I'm just going to worry about this 60 degrees. And then we'll come in and draw it here a little bit later. Alright. And from here, I want to get kind of so I can see the back of this. So I'm just going to click on this corner of my viewing cube. Alright. And now we go up here to construct plane angle. And we want it from this line. Okay. And if I just kind of take this and I'm holding shift in my scroll, just so I get a nice little side view of this plane. So I'm going to start changing this angle. It's at 60, but I want to make sure it's the correct way. So that is absolutely what we want. Let me double check that. 60, yes. Alright, so then we want to then take, the surface. I'm going to right click it and create a sketch. Right? And so now I've got a nice view of this exactly how I want it to be, and now I can start drawing this angled surface. So this back edge goes up from that line 95, okay, and then it's 80 degrees from that basically the whole width of it. And those center points of those holes and these radius, these arcs right here, line up with this edge. So I'm going to use this edge to kind of determine my points, okay? 95 up. So let's hit a line, and we'll make it a construction line. So I'm going to start in the origin there, and I want to go up 95, and hit enter, okay? And now I'm going to hit line again, but I don't want a construction this time. Go over, and I'm going to, oh, see, that's not working right there. So I hit escape. Now I'm going to hit P and say, hey, I need to use U line right there. So I selected U, hit OK, and now that pops up. Good. So I can hit line again, start that, hover over that for just a moment, and then jag it up so that it infers that I want it to be there. So that's at 40, right? It's exactly what we want. And then I'm going to hit create an arc. And I'm going to use a 3-point arc yet, because I don't know where the center point is exactly. I know I want it to start here, and I want it somewhere down in line with this, straight down. So I'm just going to click somewhere for now, it doesn't matter where. And I'm going to pull this arc out until it snaps tangent to that top line, so right there. And that little symbol that you see that pops up right there, that's what I want. All right, and then I'm going to hit dimension, and I'm going to give this its size that I need. Okay, and that arc is a radius of 25. Enter. And now, I think I could still move this if I wanted. It doesn't know where I want it to be yet. And I want all this in line here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to tell it this and this, I need you to be horizontal to each other. So that's now locked in place. Well, I could still move this, I believe. Okay, and so we're just going to take that in there anywhere. I'm going to hit my line, come straight up till it touches, hit T for trim, and snap that off there. And now we are good to go on that shape, and I want to mirror this over, but before I mirror it, I think I'm going to go ahead and draw that circle too. And so that shares the same center point as that radius that we just made, and it's a 25 millimeter diameter. C for circle, 25, and enter. Great. We're here to mirror, and I'm going to drag it over all this stuff. I don't need this though, so I'm going to just double click on it again a second time, and it deselects it. Now for my mirror line, I'll go back and hit that construction line, and everything is good there. So we can hit E to extrude that, bring my view back around. We're going to bring that up, and right now it's red, and that means that it's cutting it away. We don't want that. We want it to join in with everything else we're doing, and that is the same thickness as our other extrusions we made for the rest of the body, and that's 20. And I'm going to hit OK, and now I've really got the shape of this thing going. The only thing that I need to add is this kind of center rib in here. All right? And so let me show you how to use the rib tool if you've not already done that. So we want this in the middle, and that was why it was important that we put our origin where we did and then did a symmetric extrusion. And I'm having a hard time getting it. Right there, I got it. If you can ever not get to that to create a new sketch, just a little reminder, you can always go over here and hover over things. It's not that one. There's the one. And I can actually right-click over here to create a new sketch too. And this is where we're going to need to just do a real quick operation here in order to get a line to go from here to here. Let's see if it works for us. If I hit line, it's not snapping into that point. So that's where I go back, and now I just hit P and say I need this point and this point, and I can hit OK. And now let's go back to our line tool, there to there, and that's honestly all we need, is that little line right there. Finish sketch. And we're not going to extrude this. What we're going to do now is create a rib, and it asks us what profile. Well, that line I just made. Okay. And that rib needs to be, where does it tell me? There it is, 10. Okay, so I'm going to type in 10. And you can see it's kind of on the wrong side of the line I drew. So that's what's beautiful about this little dialog window over here. I'm going to flip the direction. So I just click that, and bada bing, bada boom. And you can see that it's going both ways, right? So it's the total thickness. You could change that if you want it to be one side or the other, but we want it kind of as a symmetric rib. And that's exactly what we need. We hit OK. And there is our part, all done. So last thing, let's go back, and they use cast iron. I believe we have that as an option. So we can go over here, our physical material, metal, and begin scrolling. There's our cast iron. So we'll assign it to cast iron, hit close. I like that appearance, we don't need to change that. I'm going to turn my origin off there, and I think that looks good. And then I'm just going to open up my properties, click off of it. There's a pretty good view of our part, and you guys are all set. All right.